Hello and welcome to a special draft day edition of the Succaneer. As you can see, it is another good game for the Buccaneers, rocking the classic creamsicles on this draft day. Still my favorite NFL uniform, and with all the NFL teams coming out, there are different things. The Falcons actually have a new uniform I really like. It has like a faded black and red on the jersey that looks pretty sweet. And Buccaneers threw one out there. The Buccaneers, I'm sorry, yeah, that's gosh, the Buccaneers threw a new jersey out there. The Browns threw another one out there. None of them, they look sort of classic-ish. Like, kind of like, oh, we'll bring back the ones we used, 10, 15 years ago. So it's okay. I really would like the Redskins to revamp their uniforms. Either go back to the arrow on the helmet, which I think was a freaking awesome helmet. Little Florida State Seminole-ish, but still, I think a really good look regardless. They also had one in the 50s that had like a big feather going up the back of it. That was pretty sweet. Or even there was an old Indian logo from very early on they had as a patch on their shoulder. I saw an alternate helmet with that on there that looked pretty sweet. But anyway, enough about that. You all came here to see the Succaneer, which is Ross and Thurber. You want the Thurber, the full Thurber, nothing but the Thurber. So, for the entire fourth quarter, I'm going to do my best and not run the ball. We know that this is a run-based offense. We know that we use my running backs quite a bit. But you want to see Thurber, you want to see his progression, and I will throw short to people like Sony Michel, who have great hands, run some screen passes and whatnot, but I will not run the ball. Will not. Because he does not have a player of the week yet. I really want him to have player of the week. Now I will cheat a little bit. We're going to use some screens, and I'm going to run my wonderful jet sweep to Mecole Hardman, Mr. Speedy Gonzalez here. So I'll run some pseudo runs here. Ooh, that didn't do much at all. Got me maybe a yard, minus a yard. Okay, 3rd and 3. Let's try that again. Let's run this the other way. This defense here, they got Aaron Donald, as you can see there in the middle with that X under him. Ridiculous penetrator. I mean, he's insane. Probably the best defensive player in the NFL. Maybe if you're just talking for his position, maybe the best player in the NFL, Aaron Donald. But anyway, I'm going to try to give some draft day commentary and play at the same time. So you get a 2-for-1 deal here. Get some draft info, and we get to play and see how we do. Hopefully I won't throw an interception while I'm trying to explain something. Oh, wide open. There you go, buddy. All right, so the NFL draft is obviously tonight, if you're listening to this afternoon. I have a couple draft day predictions I want to throw out there, and you'll hear it first on the Succaneer. First off, I think everything I've been hearing, I think there's going to be a ton of wide receivers and offensive tackles in this draft in the first round. What a catch! Just out of bounds. Man, Tate, just let him a little too much. I think total there will be like a third of the entire first round are going to be wide receivers and offensive tackles. So I'm going to say there's 10 or more, okay, that's almost a third, but 10 or more offensive tackles and wide receivers taken in round 1 tonight. So that's my first prediction. Number 2, I think there's a couple overrated players, such as like Jordan Love, the quarterback. I think everybody saw what Patrick Mahomes was doing. One-handed touchdown. Are you kidding me? Auden Tate. I think Jordan Love's a bit overrated. I think he's got the physical traits. I think he's the type of guy that could sit for a year, but he's comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. But I do not believe Jordan Love will be a quarterback. I think he'll be a day 2 pick. I think he could be a very good quarterback. He could sit on somebody like the Colts. somebody that's got a veteran quarterback where you could sit and let him learn and then kind of roll him out in year 2. It's kind of like what Patrick Mahomes did. I don't think I think he's like the McDonald's version of Patrick Mahomes. So I don't think you can expect that. I think he could be good, but he's not a first-round pick to me. Tua Tagovailoa is kind of the hot topic now. Who's going to take him? Are they going to trade up, this or that? I see reports where they're saying he could slip. I don't see that happening. I think his absolute floor is pick number 9 with Jacksonville. I think the Jaguars are at a point. I know they have Gardner Minshew, but even if Tua isn't completely healthy, they could let Gardner Minshew start. Tua could then compete for the starting job, and I think that would be a fine team to get him. I don't even think he's not going to last. I don't think he's going to last that long. I think that is his absolute floor. The Redskins have been fielding picks for Chase Young and for Tua, but it seems like they're locked into Chase Young. So I don't see the Redskins trading out of the number 2 pick. I think they're going to take Chase Young and just be done with it. As much as I'd think they could consider getting like a Ricky Williams type trade or an RG3 type trade. If somebody offered them that, they should absolutely think about it, but I don't think that they're going to. Actually, since I'm playing the Falcons here, I'll mention the Falcons were rumored to try to be trading up to number 2 to get the pick. They really wanted Chase Young, but the Falcons pick at 16. To get from 16 to 2, they would have had to be offering an insane draft package. Now, you remember a few years back, they did do that to get Julio Jones. But to go from 16 to 2, it would take an immense combination of picks and players. I got to be honest, for the Redskins even to consider it, barring it being like draft picks for the next multiple draft picks for the next multiple seasons, it would have almost had to include someone like, dare I say, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley. They have a really good linebacker, Deion Jones. He's actually the linebacker I'm blitzing with in this play right now. But it would have had to include at least one of those types of players, just because when the Redskins drop from 2 to 16, the gap in talent would just be, I mean, they wouldn't be getting a top 10 player, the whole 9 yards. But either way, the Redskins said no, because I think I just whiffed on Jordan Howard. That stunk. So the Redskins aren't trading back. Now, I think they could still trade over the number 2 pick if somebody like the Dolphins at 5 want to trade up, or the Chargers at 6. Maybe even the Jaguars at 9. Maybe the Jaguars are like, hey, I really want Tua, and they have a couple first-round picks, so they could possibly work out a deal. But I don't even think that's happening. I think if it's not the Chargers or the Dolphins, I don't think the Redskins are doing it, and I don't think the Redskins are doing it anyway. What I do believe is that the number 3 pick, the Lions, will be traded. There are rumors that the Dolphins want to trade up to 3 to get an offensive tackle, because I believe the Giants want an offensive tackle at 4, and I believe that player is Andrew Thomas. They're saying the Dolphins want it. The Dolphins have tons of draft capital, so yeah, go for it. But it doesn't make a lot of sense to me in that why they wouldn't try to trade up for a quarterback, lest they don't see the quarterbacks. Wow, what a catch. And Rawson Thurber now has 400 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Could this be his Player of the Week game? I've been dispersing my rushing touchdowns. I think LeGarrette Blount has 2, and Sony Michel has 1 rushing and 1 receiving. So there was a bad interception earlier he threw. It was a crossing pattern, and I held down to bullet pass, and his arm was just a lip noodle, and it flew way over the guy's head, and it just went into a defender's hand. The guy was actually open. Oh man, what a play. Threading the needle, Thurber. Here we go. 29 of 41, 427. Here we go. I think this could be the Player of the Week. So anyway, I think that I'm just unsure why the Dolphins don't want to trade up for a quarterback. Maybe they're not sold on Herbert. Maybe they're not sold on Tua. I know that they had discussions about Burrow to try to trade up to number 1, and I think the Bengals are like, thanks, but no thanks. So it's going to be a really fun night. The intrigue, as we know, the sports world, there's not a whole lot going on right now. It's the NFL draft with the headliner. Oh, man, he had him wide open and just overthrew him. So where the quarterbacks go will always be fun. The rumor is that there will be no first-round running backs, which we know running back is a devalued position in today's game. But to have no first-round running backs would be a bit surprising. Like, not even like a late first-rounder. So we'll have to see what happens. It's going to be a lot of fun. But my prediction is Detroit's going to trade out of 3. My guess is they're going to drop down to 5. I still think the Dolphins are going to take Tua if they trade up. I don't believe this offensive tackle nonsense. They can get an offensive tackle. They have 2 more first-round picks. They can get 1 later. And we're going for it. It's 4th and 5. We're going player of the week here. What's the play? Tell you what. Let's go Mecole Hardman on that jet sweep. See if we can squeeze out some yak here, or rack, run after catch. All right, here we go. Mecole, this is all you, baby. Cut the outside. In the end zone, baby. All right. Way to go, buddy. And he take a bow. And thank you. Ross and Thurber putting on a show. Could he be player of the week? I will include a picture if he makes it. So anyway, I'm going to say Burrow goes number 1. Chase Young goes number 2. I think Tua is going number 3. I think the Giants at number 4 take Andrew Thomas. Oh, and when I said Tua at number 3, I said I think the Dolphins are trading up. Dolphins are going to get 2 at 3. Giants are going to get Andrew Thomas, the big offensive tackle. I believe he's from Georgia. They're going to get him at 4. The Lions that then trade back from 3 to 5, I think will take Jeffrey Okudah. I think the cornerback from Ohio State, I think there's a chance they could look at Isaiah Simmons, kind of the the defensive weapon, plays some safety, plays some linebacker, does a little bit of everything. They could look at him as well, but I think they're going to go for a corner because they traded away big play Slay to the Eagles, Darius Slay. So that's how I think the top 5 is going to shake out. After that, who knows what's going to happen. The Chargers, I believe, could look at another offensive tackle. Their offensive line is all butchered up, and I believe they, for whatever reason, they want Tyrod Taylor to start. I think he's a good quarterback. He's not great. I'm really surprised they didn't kick the tires with Cam Newton. Jameis Winston's still out there, but I could see them taking maybe Jordan Love in this. I think Jordan Love, like I said, would be a great 2nd-round pick. You could sit him behind Tyrod, let Tyrod play the whole year. If the season doesn't go how you expect it to, maybe you let Love start a couple games at the end just to kick the tires, see what he's got. But I don't see them necessarily going for a quarterback in the 1st round unless they would trade up for Tua. But they seem to really like Tyrod. And then after that, it's a domino effect. But I've been hearing there's a lot of teams looking to trade up, and there's other teams looking to trade down. So it's going to get real interesting. I love the draft because I feel like it's a time for new beginnings, new hope. There are teams that every year go from last place in the division to making the playoffs. You look at the San Francisco 49ers were picking like 3rd overall just a few years ago, and look, they were in the Super Bowl. They built up the defensive line. They signed Richard Sherman, who at the time I think everybody was really skeptical of, but he's been playing some of his best ball in years after that devastating injury, and I think he really transformed that defense as well. So you got the NFC East, I'm a Redskins fan, so I always follow that. You get the Redskins, trying to build on what they had with Haskins last year. The Giants trying to build on Daniel Jones. Can Carson Wentz stay healthy? Will Dak ever get paid? The NFC East will be a fun division. It's probably going to be the Cowboys and Eagles, with the Redskins and Giants kind of bringing up the rear, but you never know what's going to happen. You never know. A lot of times the team that wins that division gets that first place schedule and they don't do well. So it rotates around, and whoever gets the easiest schedule sometimes is the team to watch out for. So I will say with the Redskins, I kind of wish they would trade for a bunch of picks because they need a lot of players. But I think with San Francisco, I was going to run. It's 3rd and 1, but I said I wouldn't. All right, I'll audible back to a pass. And look, it was even better than a run. Might be a touchdown. Nope. But I'd love for them to get a bunch of players, but the prospect of having Chase Young with Ryan Kerrigan, Montez Sweat, Daron Payne, Matt Ioannidis, Jonathan Allen on the defensive line. I mean, this could be one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. It could rival the 49ers defensive line. So, I'm going to call a timeout because right now I got Anthony Sherman in at tight end, and I definitely don't want to throw to him in the red zone. I want my fullback out there running routes. Okay, let's try power. Audible. Try to get Auden Tater-Patterson out there in the flat. But, I mean, I think it could be the Redskins could literally have one of the best defensive lines in the league. What a catch, Auden Tate, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I love getting big possession receivers, converting them to tight end. They're not always the best blockers. Look at that, 1,250 yards this season. But that front line could really put a hurting on opposing offensive lines with only rushing 4. And with having Kerrigan as that extra defensive end and having those 3 DTs rotating, I mean, the Redskins can get really creative with only 4-man rushes. And sometimes I think they'll run some 5-man fronts. But if you can rush 4 or 5 and get consistent pressure, you don't gotta get too cute with corner blitzes and safety blitzes and blitzing multiple linebackers. I think it can really transform your defense. So that is something I'm excited about. I'm excited to see what some other teams do, especially wide receiver wise. They're saying this is the best wide receiver draft in years. Does it have a Julio Jones type prospect? Does it have, someone who's going to be like a Tyreek Hill, a Megatron? No, I don't think that this draft has a game breaker like this incredible physical specimen or something to that nature. But what it does have is it has guys that are there will be NFL starting caliber receivers drafted in round 3. There will be NFL starting caliber receivers drafted on day 3 in rounds 4 through 7. It is an incredibly deep class. Does that mean there'll be a huge run on receivers? I think there'll be, like I said, a good amount taken in the first round. But I also think that teams are going to be able to get some nice deals on days 2 and 3 just because there's some really nice pass catchers. There's possession guys, there's speed guys, there's a little bit of everything. So if your team's looking for a wide receiver, I think this is the draft to find it. So, all right. Look at Aaron Rodgers throwing darts out there. 4th and 2. Sorry, buddy, punt it away. Wonder if Aaron Rodgers does have, and he has 441 passing yards. It inevitably happens in this 15-minute quarter game that they throw for a lot of yards because I never allow rushing yards. But Aaron Rodgers only has 1 touchdown. Sacked multiple times. So here we go. Look at Thurber. Very little reason to use them, you say. How about getting stats? about becoming player of the week. You don't understand, do you? Ooh, trying to hop it over 24's head there, but ooh, almost 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. This could be the week, guys. This could be the week. All right, let's go a little bit conservative here. Let's try the jet touch pass here. Donald's off to the right anyway, so we're running left, so that works out. As long as Sherman makes this block here on the outside. Oh, come on, Brooks. He usually blocks a little better than that. All right, 3rd and 13. Well, we're going for it on 4th down, so I think what I'm going to do is try to do a screen pass here just to get some yards, and then I'll go for it on 4th down if we need to. I don't like all these people in the box. Hopefully they'll over-pursue. Oh, man. I caught it off balance, and I didn't get a chance to get outside at all. Well, that was about completely worthless. Oh, well. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Go for it on 4th and 13. 4th and 15 on your own 15-yard line. All right, going to go downfield and see what happens. Daggone it. I should have thrown it a second earlier. So, all right. Well, I want to hit that 500 yards. I'm at 486. That was a pitiful series. Maybe I can just stop him here. I got plenty of time on the clock. Still like a minute left. God, timeouts galore. Don't throw it in the middle of the field. You guys. Call a timeout. Oh, I only got 1 timeout left. They got all 3. I thought I had 3, and they only had 1. Well, missed it, just out of bounds. Oh, Thurber did have an interception earlier, but it was ruled out of bounds. The defender did not get his feet in bounds. There's a pick. All right, well, I said we were going to get the ball back. And X Factor superstar Denzel Ward gets us the ball back. All right, let's go. Let's get some Mecole Hardman working on the slant here. I don't like the way the defense is set up for this play, but let's try it. Oh, man, it just off his fingertips. Thought I had him. All right. All right, let's see how the defense reacts to this. Good goodness. Thurber, got to slow down, buddy. We're getting good separation on defense. He just can't hit anybody in stride right now. Passes are ridiculously inaccurate. And there's an interception. Son of a biscuit. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt player of the week. Daggone it, that irritates me. Well, 58-14, I guess I can't complain. But I really want to get Thurber that player of the week. Hopefully that doesn't hinder him. Oh, look at Denzel Ward. He's like, well, we'll get the ball right back. 2 interceptions on 2 straight defensive plays. How can you be mad at that guy? How can you not love a guy like that? All right, come on now, Thurber. Oh man, he can't even hit the running back in the flat now. Now we're getting wild. Now we're getting wild. Ball security, no interception. That's my goal for this drive. Oh gosh, Sony. Caught it, and that got me about 2 yards. All right, I got to get this down the field. This is going to Tate over the middle, and I'm getting my 500 yards passing. My word, that was an inaccurate pass. Thurber's playing really, he's getting really scared out there. Okay, let's run power. See if we can hit Tate over there. Nope, can't even get the ball off. Well, didn't end the game as cleanly as I want to do, but nonetheless a win. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Succaneer Draft Day edition. Hopefully watch the NFL Draft. Hit me up. Send me texts, send me Facebook messages on how you think your team did at the NFL Draft, surprises, predictions, all that fun stuff. Hope you guys had a good time, and I'll see you next time.